It's my time and I'm coming out to play. Get on that beat, I wanna misbehave. Yeah, go, look at me, go, make me wanna fly all the time. Shining, I'm shining now, makes no difference if the world ain't listening. I'm never gonna change. So what if I'm kicking up dirt? I wanna be heard. Silence ain't my thing. I'm gonna shake up these boots. It's my time and I'm coming out to play. Get on that beat, I wanna misbehave. Yeah, go, look at me, go, make me wanna fly all the time. Shining, I'm shining now, makes no difference if the world ain't listening. I'm never gonna change. So what if I'm kicking up dirt? I wanna be heard. Silence ain't my thing. I'm gonna shake up these boots. It's my time and I'm coming out to play. Get on that beat, I wanna misbehave. Yeah, go, look at me, go, make me wanna fly all the time. Shining, I'm shining now, makes no difference if the world ain't listening. I'm never gonna change. So what if I'm kicking up dirt? I wanna be heard. Silence ain't my thing. I'm gonna shake up these boots.
Good evening everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. My name is Elhannah Alexis. Tonight is a big night for us. We meaning you and me, we're celebrating our first year doing Outside the Box, and we're very happy to be celebrating a year. That means that we have 1 year down and we have many more to come. It's been a real pleasure having you all looking at my videos and sharing and engaging with me, and I really appreciate your listenership, and I look forward to having a lot more time with you, and I hope that I can continue to progress because it's a work in progress. As you can see, I have a difficulty keeping with the times, and so I hope that I can work on that in the next year. So with that being said, let's celebrate. It's our first year, and it's our reason to celebrate today. Right, so today we are going to be talking about Dominican politics. We have been talking about politics in Dominica. Most of our videos, the previous few videos, probably like the last 2 or 3 videos, I've been doing some things kind of like tutorial videos, sharing information and spreading education, which is one of the roles that Outside the Box would like to play among the Dominican public. So we have been doing a few videos that educate, that's just mostly talking about facts and trying to build a foundation among all the viewers, so we could be at it could be somewhat of a level playing field. So most of the things that I say, and the reasons why I say certain things, usually because of some sort of fact that I'm backing on, but it's not that I'm always right, but I usually base on facts. So tonight we're speaking about Dominican politics, and there's not much about Dominican politics to talk about, or so you think. Well, there is a lot to talk about Dominican politics. However, tonight we're going to talk about Dominica's political climate, and it's also a big topic as well. So we're still going to streamline that topic down into Dominica's political climate in terms of political parties and participation in political activity. So we're looking at how people view political parties and how people view representatives. Now, we have had a very long past. Well, not very long, but it's kind of a long past in terms of governments, because we've had one government lasting for 15 years. We've had another lasting for 18 years. And so what we have is a lot of many years under one administration. So the first time after independence, we had a government, and about a year after, that government had to be replaced by an interim government, which then was replaced by another government after the election, and then we had that government lasting for 15 years. Then we had another party becoming the government, and that party lasted for 5 years. After that 5 years, well, not 5 years but 4.5, after that 5 years, we had another election, and we had another party winning and staying in government for the past 18 years. So although we've had 15 plus 18, that is 33 years, and then we had another 5 years, that's 38 years of governments, but we've only had 3 prime ministers. I'm not really counting the first and the interim because that was just a year. I'm not counting it in terms of that. So let's say I count from the first prime minister. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ruling parties. So although we have 38 years of history with our own politics, we only have had a few parties in power, and so we only have these few things we can compare. So that's one of the problems that we have in Dominica too, is that we don't have many administrations, many different prime ministers that we can compare with. Although during the reign of the Dominican Labour Party, which has been there for the past 18 years, we had 3 prime ministers, three prime ministers during that time, which was unfortunate because the prime ministers kept on dying. God bless their souls. So that doesn't count, because if it wasn't for the death, then that would be 1 prime minister for the entire period. So we have had quite a few, but not so many that we can really compare with. And so sometimes I think that the yardstick is kind of short, and people have difficulty trying to emulate a good leader. I mean, we try to think, because let's say the first leader, Patrick John, there were good things about him, because obviously he was the first prime minister, so he must have done something good, right? And then whatever happened at the end, he ended up failing in terms of leadership and government, and he was replaced by Dame Eugenia Charles, right? Dame Eugenia Charles was there for 15 years, and then Dominica had enough and got fed up and decided, hey, we're going to vote in this new party of young men and women who will look like they have a lot of promise. So then people gravitated towards the new party, right? And then after being with the party for about 4 years, they didn't like what they got, so they decided, you know what, we're going to jump ship. And they jumped ship, and they jumped on another ship. Now we've been on this ship for 18 years, and a lot of people want to jump ship, but many people like what they have. Some people would like to jump ship, but they do not want to really join the others as jumping ship. So it's like they want to escape, but they don't want to do it because they will look like they're part of the other group, right? So because they don't have any options, and that's where I'm coming to with the lack of options in terms of political parties. So we have always known, well, not always, but from 1995, from 1991 or somewhere around that area when United Workers Party started, we've had 3 political parties, right? And even now we have 3 main political parties, and we have 3 main political parties, and we'll not forget our faithful Dominica People's Progressive Party, that is the Leonard Baptist Party. We've had many We've had many people trying to go up independent, but this has never really made any impact on the electorate. So what we've mainly had is parties. So we have 3 main parties. So at one point, for the last 2 elections, we've more or less had 2 main parties, right? And recently, the Dominican Freedom Party decided to revive and try to get themselves back in the action so that they could join the next election, which makes all of us happy, right? Because now we have more options. So in the middle of all of that, we have another new party that decided to come into the arena, and they call themselves the People's Party of Dominica, right? So now we have 4 political parties, plus our little independents, and plus our progressive party, Leonard Papi Baptist Party. So these are the parties that we have in Dominica. Okay, so what I want to talk about tonight is I want to talk about entering the political arena and what people expect from people who enter the political arena. Now, because a parliamentary representative is your representative and somebody that you want to trust, to represent you and to get things done so that your life and the life of your children will be secured as a citizen of the country, right? So you are voting for somebody that you trust, right? Now, people put trust as one of the very important things when they're choosing a leader, right? Now, I will not vote for a person that I know lies a lot, or I will not vote for a person that I do not know at all. I don't know anything about the person. So anyone who enters politics, or anyone who joins a party or starts a party, that person first has to get the people to know you. So if the people cannot know you, or if you pull yourself back, or if you cut yourself off, or if you remain evasive, people will not know you, and you have no future in politics, right? And I can tell you, people, the one thing that will make a leader stay, well, not just stay, but a leader get into government and stay in government, is charisma. Charisma. And this is one of the things that has carried him, because he is charismatic. People may say they don't like him, but he has a way with people. And this is one of the most important things, because you're a person for the people. So you are supposed to be for the people, and you're supposed to be a people's person, right? So that is general for politicians. All politicians are people's people, right? And if they're not a people's person, then they're not going to be successful politician. Right? Look at how Trump is having such a bad time. Not bad time, but a hard time. He's having a very hard time socializing with people, even on that level, as a president, socializing with other presidents and socializing with their wives and so on. He's having a really hard time because he's not charismatic, and you can see that in opposition to how Obama was. You could see that Obama was a people's person. He was charismatic. He would flow with anybody who he would deal with or talk to or meet. He would really flow with them. They would be like, they have a chemistry. But Trump is not like that, because he's not a people's person, and this is different. So it's very important to look at the kind of people that we're putting in power, or the kind of people that we're even entertaining. And so, people, I was looking at in the Spotlight show, and that new party's leader was introducing the party, and she came on with Ferdinand, and we can see that she's very untruthful about almost everything that she said in the interview. That's my opinion, based on actually looking at the interview and analyzing her body language and the things that she said and how she phrased it. I could tell that she was hiding everything, and she was being very untruthful. And that is one of the things that will not get you far, because number one, if you cannot lie, if you cannot speak the truth about yourself, right? If you cannot speak the truth about yourself, how are you going to speak the truth about the country and the economy, right? Because ruling a country has a lot to do with how you even rule your own self. I mean, if you cannot take care of yourself, you will not be able to take care of the people. It's not possible. So I was looking at the video, I was looking at the interview, and it was a very much anticipated interview because Dominicans want something new. We've been wanting something new for a long time. In 2016, when I saw the news, that there was a new party started, I was quite excited. I was like, yeah, something new is going on. And I was like, I mean, if in 2016 there's a new party, that new party is going to be like, new age kind of party where it's just going to swipe and just wipe out everything, right? That was my expectation. And then I found out that it was an overseas party and so forth. And then 2 years passed by and it was only on Facebook. And then I was like, okay. But then I have been interacting with the leader in terms of posts on Facebook. I used to be a part of one of the groups that she made, one of those Facebook groups where she would make her posts. And I would interact with her, and I would get some really mixed vibes about her because a lot of her information was copy and paste, right? And then the copy and paste information, she would just put it in somewhere and make a comment about it. But she will not say what it was or what it was about or to explain anything about it. She would just put it there. And then if someone asks her a question, she'll say, go and read it. Or she'll say something like, if you don't know, then that's your, that kind of thing. That kind of thing, like, find out for yourself. So she was not the one to, like, put out something there and discuss it or talk about it or say what she feels about it. She would put it out there and just copy and paste it and put it there. And then make comments about it. And expect people to join her in her comments about whatever she's posting. But sometimes they don't have a context because everybody don't know everything. For example, some time ago she was talking about correspondent banks. Now, an ordinary man has no idea what is a correspondent bank. Most people do not know. I had to find out, right? But it's something that you would have to read about to find it out. So she would post about something like that, and she would expect people to join in the conversation. And if they say, well, they don't know what it is, she would kind of sort of insult them. So her behavior was kind of questionable. So her behavior is very questionable because as somebody who is aspiring to be a political leader, and a person who is aspiring to, be the Prime Minister of Dominica, be the next mama of Dominica, I mean, to portray yourself in that way is the total opposite of them Eugenia Charles. Alright? So I find that was quite questionable. Anyways, then I realized that the pattern of her posting was strange. Now, wouldn't it be strange if someone has a new party and the main objective, the main things that they talk about are about the opposition party? Really? I mean, if I have a new political party and I want to introduce my party, I want to unseat the sitting government. So this will be my target. I will be targeting the sitting government. I will be saying what they're doing wrong and what they're not doing right. Because I am not gunning for the position of opposition. I'm gunning for the position of government because I believe they're not doing something right. Right? So I do not see, that's one of the other things that set me off. I'm like, why is she always talking about the leader of opposition? Why is she always talking about the opposition parties? Why is she not, like acting like an actual political party that wants a seat or that wants, that wants to be the government? Okay, so all that, she set off some alarms, and I'm like trying to wonder what is going on. Because I have had ideas and I've had thoughts, and I've had people tell me that probably I should try to put people together and put a party together. And I've been putting this off because I'm like, I'm not ready for this yet. I still have things that I want to do before I put myself out there. But I'm like, if I were to do that, I would be attacking it from a different angle. But everyone has their own way of doing things. Right. So we're going back. I'm going back to that interview. Back to the interview. I'm going to post. I'm going to post a version of the interview. Meaning, I picked out all the like where they asked the questions. So I picked up all the little parts where the questions were asked, and I captured her answers and her body language. So I'm going to post it below this video so that anyone who sees the video can look at it. It's just about 30 minutes long because I removed all. I just removed all the little parts that I wanted to draw attention to. So because the thing is, politics is one thing, and people expect the government. People expect to trust the leader. We know that the leaders, when they come in, they start to change and they start to make up stories and they start to lie and they start to hide things. But we want them to, at least when you come in, we want you to come in honest. You know, because I know when Skerrit came in, he was an honest man and he was honestly motivated to do good for his country. When all of them come in, that's what they want to do. They're honestly motivated to do something for the country. I guess somewhere along the line, you know, the money gets big and, you know, it becomes very easy to make a lot of money, and sometimes people forget that they really wanted to help the people. But people actually trusted those people that are in power right now. Even the last government, people trusted them. The people that vote for Lennox Linton, the people that vote for all the United Workers Party candidates, people trust them. That's why. Because people truly believe in their mind that these people are coming in to help the country, and they're going to help the country to progress and to do something. However, if you are coming in, and from the time you're coming in, we can already see that you're starting to lie from the beginning. You're lying at the gate. You're not going to get it. You won't get in. So in the interview, it started, from the time the interview started, you could see she was going to lie, right? Because they asked her, so who is Saphire, right? Now, any political candidate would say, well, my name is Saphire Carrington, and I am the leader of the People's Party of Dominica, and then she would probably start talking about the party and its goals, right? Typically, that's how you'd answer a question like that. You wouldn't, because the way you answer a question in an interview usually leads on the interviewer in a direction. So when you start, I'm a Dominican citizen who wants to help my country to blah 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 blah. This is not a Queen show. I know Queen shows because, you know, this is not a Queen show. You start to talk and you hit it right on the head and you start to talk about your party. That's what you're here for. You're not here to talk. You're not there for a beauty contest, you know. So from the time she started, I could tell this is not a political leader, because she started like how the Queen contestants start. I'm a young woman who wants to be an ambassador for my country and blah blah blah. That's how she started. So we know from the beginning that this woman is not a anything political. Then we're going on to the rest of the questions. They asked her about her family. She's like, do you have any brothers and sisters? I have 5 sisters. My dad was very busy, just like everybody else's dad. Really? Are you a political leader? Really? I was like, what? I mean, I have 3 sisters, I have 5 sisters, and I have 1 brother living in blah blah blah. She cannot even name her sisters, blah blah blah. I mean, why are you acting like? And then where are you from? A simple question as, where are you from? Where are you from? I'm from Fokole. That's it. I'm from Fokole. But she has to go, well, I was born at the Princess Margaret Hospital like everybody. Really, nobody asks you all that questions. Where are you from? That's a simple question. I'm from Kenfield, or I'm from Goodwill, or wherever it is that you're from. All that is not necessary. Really, in my opinion, it's not necessary. Then she goes on to say about her dad is a busy dad. Really? Anyways, enough of that. Now we're going on to the part where she was asked about her education. Right? Now, you're asked about your education. So, what did you do after high school? That's what I know. what did you do? So after high school, what did you do? You know, what was the direction after high school? She starts she started to déparler when she was saying the degree that she had. No, I believe she doesn't have that degree, because nobody déparles when they're going to say the degree. If someone asks me, what did I do after? Well, I went to China to study. I got a bachelor's degree in finance, and then later on I did a master's degree in public administration. That's simple. But she had to go all around the world and back, and she had to say that I have a bachelor of science in behavioral science. No, when people have a bachelor's in science, they hardly even say bachelor's in science. They probably just say BS or a bachelor's degree. They don't say a bachelor's of science in behavioral science. If you don't have a degree, you probably want to spell everything out because you want it to sound like the truth. Right? You want it to sound like the truth, so you put in all the names in. But people with bachelor's degree, I have never said I have a bachelor of science in whatever, because I didn't have a bachelor's in what I have it in. So you would just say I have a bachelor's degree in behavioral science. But and then she was why are you begging? Why are you begging on something that you're supposed to know, right? So I'm trying to figure out why is all those what all those lies about. I am not sure. I'm not saying that she doesn't have a degree, but I don't know if she really has it, or if she has it in that, or if she completed it. I have no idea, because it sounds like she's hiding something. And then she says she has a master's degree in teaching, right? And then she starts talking about a teaching experience, and she has a master's degree for teaching grades 1 through 5, and she actually taught grades 5 to. Who cares about what you actually taught? Or who cares about what you had a master's in? You know, you had a master's degree in education. What do you want to talk about? We want to focus on the party. You're spending too much time talking about crap that we don't want to hear about. I mean, Fred, I'm not really asking you the questions, but just to touch on it and go, so that we could move on to the most important part of the conversation. You know, so then we get onto the part where she talks about her ID being stolen. No, this is the biggest lie. There's no way that your ID is stolen, and the IRS and the Social Security recommend that you change your name and your Social Security. And then, not even just that, they march you down to go to change your name because it's so urgent, right? Well, if you're in witness protection, you cannot really say it to us, right? And we understand. But if you're in witness protection, you also cannot go out as a politician, right? So I don't think it could be witness protection, because you wouldn't be so stupid to be in witness protection and go. You'd be insane, really. So she says that they made her change her ID because the person was filing her income tax to the IRS on her name. Now, if someone files your income tax to the IRS, you file a complaint. You know, you file a complaint, and then they know, because you can file it online, you can file it in print, and they use your address. Now, there are ways to combat that. So if they do it once, they're not going to be able to do it the second time, because you will realize that it was done, and then they will know. So they will get verification. When they get it, they'll get it in print, or you send it in print. Or if they so care about it, as in wanting to send you to change your name, they will want to verify next time. They'll put a flag on it so that they will verify that it is you, right? They're not going to match you down, take you and match you down to change your name. And then you okay, let's say you change your name, right? You change your name. If you change your name, if the people are using your Social Security number and you have a different name, they will not be able to use it anymore, because if whatever they use, the name and the security number has to match. So if they don't know your new name, but they have your Social Security number, it cannot work. So they will not be able to follow you, right? No, because the Social Security number is tied to your name, right? But your name is not tied to the Social Security number, because if you change your name, your new name will be tied to the same social security number. So a person cannot, identity thief cannot follow you and change you, take your ID all the time. There are so many IDs that can be stolen. You think they're going to be following one person and trying to find out what is your new name and what is your new ID? No, Sapphire. No, they won't. This is just, I mean, the only, you know why I'm so passionate and so sort of angry about it? You know why? Because I believe that she thinks that Dominicans are stupid. The only way you can think you can get away with something like that is if you really believe that Dominicans are stupid. If you think Dominicans do not know anything. I mean, there are so many Dominicans living in the United States of America. There are so many Dominicans that know the situation and know the they know the whole thing about identity theft and those things. Why would you come and try to lie to people about that? That makes me upset, because I'm like, why are you lying? You know, what kind of IRS that will demand you change your name, and then they demand you change your children's name too? So where are your children's names coming into that? Your children have nothing to do with somebody stole your ID or credit card. The people, there's nothing else. There's nothing to do with your children. Why would they want to change your children's name? Unless you're really in witness protection. They change your name and they change your children's name. And if you're in witness protection, then you have to be really stupid to go into politics. You have to be really stupid. Either you have to be really stupid or you have to have a mental problem. And that's probably what she has, a mental problem, because those things it's just so crazy that you would put yourself out there with all this. And then we are not done yet. We're not done yet. This change of the name. Now, up to 2016, when the party was announced on DNO, it said that the president is Claudine Williams. Now, between 2016 and 2018, when she's coming now to launch, her name has changed completely. Right? But when they ask her the question, they ask her about how long did this process and this whole identity theft thing last. She never answered. She dodged the question. Right? No, she never answered that. Now, this happened. This must have happened last year or year before. Really? Because your name was Claudine in 2016 and now it's changed. So when did it happen? She doesn't answer a simple question. Why would you not answer a simple question? You trying to get people to know your party and to know you. And before they know you, before they know your party, we want to know you. And then we want to like what you have to offer. And so now we want to know more about your party. And that is it. That's how we work. That's how Dominican politics work. And that's how all politics work, even worse in other places. Then we talk about the identity thing. That is one. Then we're talking about the bankruptcy. Now, she claims that she only filed for bankruptcy in 2009 once. Well, she never said it was only once. She only admits that she filed it in 2009. Now, 2009 you filed for bankruptcy, right? That means you cannot control your financial life. That means you have no control over your finance. That means you do not know how to budget. That means you do not know how to manage funds. That means you do not know those things, because you are bankrupt. You're not. It's not like a business that is bankrupt. A business is an entity by itself. Donald Trump bankruptcy was business bankruptcy. It wasn't his personal self being bankrupt. So people cannot compare. You cannot compare that to Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump is not in Dominica. And then there's no clause in any constitution of the United States of America that says you couldn't have been bankrupt. Right? So bankrupt ever in the past. Or you couldn't have been bankrupt in the last 5 years or 10 years or whatever it was. So that is irrelevant. But in our Constitution, it says that you should not have been bankrupted in the past by the laws of Commonwealth of Dominica. But the loophole is that it says in the Commonwealth, not of Dominica, in the Commonwealth. So that would mean all countries that are a part of the Commonwealth, and that would exclude the US, because the US is not a Commonwealth country, right? So she has a little loophole there, because she was bankrupt but not in Dominica and is not in the Commonwealth. So this one, she gets away with that one loophole, right? But then we see evidence. I've seen online all the papers that show that she also filed in May 2018. Now you file for bankruptcy in May 2018 while you're buying your ticket to go down to Dominica to introduce your party, right? So you take your bank card and you buy your ticket, and then so you probably empty your funds and buying your ticket and buying whatever it is that you need, or paying for homes or whatever you're paying for in Dominica to live. So you do everything, you get rid of everything, and then you move to Dominica, and you want us to believe that you're in it for helping the country. And that is why the bankruptcy clause is there, because the bankruptcy clause will try to eliminate the people who are bankrupt and are looking for a way to try to, to get themselves back on their feet, right? One, it tries to eliminate the people that are coming in it for the money, right? You have nothing to lose, because right now she has nothing to lose. She has filed for bankruptcy, although it was not. We got further update that it was not. She didn't continue with it. So she filed for bankruptcy. So the intention was to file for bankruptcy and then go to Dominica, and probably forget about the United States for the time, right? Until she can make up herself in Dominica with the monies. Now the money may not just be if she becomes prime minister or whatever, which she will not. The money may be funds, raising the funds that she would raise for her party and so on, because I guess people believe that there's money in parties. So if I make a party and I go down to Dominica and I start my party, I could raise some money and I could get some on the side, because we're talking millions of dollars. So there's some money, there's some for everyone, right? So so this bankruptcy thing, I mean, although she can get away with it through the loophole that it's not Commonwealth and it's not in Dominica, then she can get away with that. But the other thing is that I mean there are so many things. I cannot understand, why would you put yourself out there in the public with all this, right? Then you are a US citizen. You know clearly that the Constitution says that you should not have any, in order for you to be nominated as a candidate, you should not have any foreign allegiance by your doing. Meaning, going to America, getting your green card, and then filing for citizenship. That is exactly what it means. It doesn't mean when you're young and you go there and you get it by your parents. It means when you go there by your own doing. So she totally fits that. Now she's probably banking on the fact that Skerrit got away with it, but Skerrit didn't get away with it. Her situation is different from Skerrit's situation. Skerrit got his citizenship as a child, right? And secondly, Skerrit was already in there and he was already the prime minister, so we know that justice works in a very funny way, right? So the fact that he was already prime minister, it would have been really hard for the judgment to turn around and make him, it's difficult. So I guess they didn't want all that complication, and they just, went with the flow. Like, we cannot let the man submit evidence against himself, and that's how he got away. Because if he had presented his passport, then he would be presenting evidence against himself, and that would be that was against what the judge believed. But that wasn't the same case with Grenada's former prime minister, right? I guess they did take his passport and look at his passport. So we have different judges, different ways of dealing with different cases, right? So this citizenship thing, although a lot of us, including me, believe that this should be removed, right? I mean, people should be able to be, like, let's say a person in the diaspora should be able to come back home, and even if they're citizens of another country and they decide to come back home and do good for the country, they should be able to join, to actively take part in politics in Dominica. But the law is there. As long as it stands, it's there. So we have to follow it. Even if not all of us, even if quite a few of us believe that marijuana should be legalized, or at least decriminalized, we cannot just go and smoke it or sell it openly and believe that because everybody thinks that it should be legalized because it's now being legalized everywhere. That doesn't mean that we can just go and smoke it and expect the police not to arrest us. So the law is there, And she keeps ignoring it, and she keeps saying, let's cross when I cross reach a bridge, I'll cross it. And she keeps saying all these things. Why would I put trust in a person that takes such risks? A person that takes the risk of starting a party and putting all that into the party, and then at the end she cannot run. So the other thing is, she was asked where she's going to run. She said she doesn't know. She can run anywhere. You cannot run anywhere, madam. You can only run where you are registered as a resident. So if you're registered, if you have residence, if you have been living in Maho, then you can register Maho. You cannot just pick and choose on the map and say, okay, you know what, I want to go and register in Grand Bay, because, or I want to go and register in Vegas because my grandmother from Vegas, or I want to go and register in Rosa South because I have a family in Rosa South or whatever. No, it's where you live. It's based on residency. And now the biggest thing, the biggest thing, right? At one point, she was asked, so if in December the bell is ring and election is called, are you ready? She says yes, she's ready. But it's impossible because, number one, in order for you to be a candidate, the Constitution says that you have to be living there for at least a year, right? She has not been living there at least a year, and in December she'll be there for only 6 months, so she will not be able to take part in the elections. Her candidates will not be able to take part either, because she said that one is there and then another one is coming. They will not be able to take part because they're not even there yet, and it's less than 6 months, right? So we're in 2017. We're in 2018. We're in 2018, right? And election is due by somewhere July 2019, I believe, or maybe later. Yeah, it's like election is due July 2019. So that gives a right a year. So the only way that she will be able to partake, or the only way that she will be able to be a candidate or even vote, is if election takes place in July, right? A whole year after she came back, because we can trace back to when she came back, because she said she came back in July, so we can trace it back. We know that she has not made the requirements yet, and people will be paying attention, right? So I just spent a few minutes talking about something that was really, I felt like I wanted to talk about it, because I just feel like, what is going on? If I'm crazy, I just want to know if I'm the crazy one to think that it's just bizarre. It's just weird that somebody would, you know? So then I wanted to talk about the party too, because she talked about the party. She could not say any of the policies that that a party would want to focus on. Number one, I don't have a party yet, and I know what my party has to focus on. I know exactly what is the priority for my party. The priority for my party, as soon as I get in power, whenever that is, as soon as my party gains power and I become the prime minister, I'm going to update all the old antiquated laws that we have. I'm going to spend the first 6 months of my government, of my whatever they call it, I'm going to spend the first 6 months, all my ministers and everybody, just going through the laws, especially the criminal laws, going through the laws and updating, so that we can get rid of all the antiquated laws that we have in the country, right? Then we are going to focus on enforcing the laws that we already have, right? The laws that are good, we're going to enforce the laws. So things like seat belts, we're going to enforce it. We're going to enforce all those laws for safety, because the safety of people is very important. So we're going to focus on enforcing the laws to restore the rule of law in the country, because we are bordering lawlessness, right? Our streets are not safe. We have accidents every single day. We have an accident. We have so many road deaths for a small country. We need road safety. We need street signs, and we need speed limits. We need them to be enforced, and we need them to be enforced 24/7, not just when an accident happens. Because some time ago, I was in Dominica then, that was like maybe 2-3 years ago, there was an accident, right? And after that accident, every morning, so I think somebody died on the road, and every morning after the accident, big traffic in also because they're checking for seatbelts and charging people for seatbelts. But about a month after that, no seatbelt check, nothing. People just doing whatever they want. So it's like Dominica, in terms of laws, they're too short to flam today. The police officers, they at the end of the month, they want to make some money, so they go to the favorite spots so that they can charge people for parking and whatever it is, and for licenses and so forth. But the laws are not being enforced. So that is one of the things that I will say, and this is not like an idea that somebody can steal. This is something, and we need it done. And if I say it, if I have my party and I go in the public and talk about it and I say it, and then somebody does it, then we're all happy. Aren't we all happy? Right? And so how simple that was. I expressed what was my party's priority. Right? So she started talking about 100 days. We don't have any 100 days thing. Living here in Dominica, we don't have any 100 days thing. We don't have any my first 100 days, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear about your first 100 days. You're not in American politics. American politics that talk about 100 days. We don't talk about 100 days. We want to see action from day one. And we want to see action all through. You know? So she cannot talk about the party and what the party wants. She keeps saying her party will just decide who is the best candidate. Who are you and your party to determine who are the best candidates? How you get that power to determine who is the best candidate, so you choose the best candidates? How are you going to choose the best candidates? What? How? And she was asked, how do you choose your candidates? She cannot say how she could choose her candidates. She says we choose the best candidates that love their country. Everybody loves their country, you know. But it's not all can be a candidate. Now, if you're looking for a candidate, you look for somebody that that has a specialized area where they can contribute to the economy or to the social development of the country. That's how you choose people. You choose people that are accomplished in some area of their life professionally, that they can make a contribution. They can have, and you also choose people with the passion for development and passion for people. You also choose people based on their personality, people's person. You don't choose a person even if they have everything going for them. They're a successful business person or whatever, and you choose the person. The person cannot talk to people. The person, that person cannot be a political leader. That person cannot be a political candidate, because that person doesn't match all the other things besides just being accomplished. You know, when Roosevelt Skerrit just came into politics, then he used to stammer a lot, and I used to find that such a turn off. Like, why? I mean, it was wrong to find it as such a turn off, because I mean, we are all equal, and stammering is like a disability. So I think I was wrong to kind of like be so upset that he had this disability and he was a minister, because the thing was just that I couldn't understand what he was saying, and I just couldn't follow it, and it was just annoying me. And then what did he do? I guess he took speech therapy, because he doesn't stammer anymore. He knows how to stop it, and that's what they do. You know, if you stammer too much, if you have a stammering problem, or what they call a stuttering problem, when you do your speech therapy, you learn how to pause and how to, you know, pause your talk or low down your voice or whatever it is that they do, so that they can eliminate the stuttering. So, I mean, these things matter. These things matter. They do matter. So I do not understand why somebody like that. I mean, I don't know if probably she was nervous. I thought probably she was nervous. You know, her first appearance and everything. I thought that was nervous. But then I saw the mapping news, and she was the same, evasive, not answering any questions, and just saying that I have qualified. And what are you qualified in? You were a teacher for 10 years. That's all you can say. That's the only thing that you can say you've done. I have no problem with teachers. I was a teacher for 6 years. So I have 6 on 10 of what she has in terms of I was a teacher, right? She was a teacher for 10 years, right? But you were in America for 29 years and you never came home once. Your children have never been to Dominica. You've never come home. So how you love home so much? You love home so much. And you've never been home in 29 years. You have a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old. Or what? A 14 and a 16? Yeah, 14 and 16. You have either 16 and 19 or 14 and 16. And they've never been to Dominica, because you've never been to Dominica in 29 years. But you want to be the Prime Minister of Dominica. Hola, sir. In Dominica? You're losing your mind, right? I mean, I hope you look at that video at one point, because when I make my comments on your group, you I guess you removed me from your group because you didn't like what I was saying, which is true. I mean, you need to stop attacking the opposition and start working on your party. You have nothing. Your party there's nothing. Your party has no substance, nothing. You need to start to work on your substance for your party, and then you'll get ready for some election maybe in the next 10-15 years. But you're not ready yet, and you will be losing your deposit, and you will be wasting your time, and you'll be embarrassing yourself, and then you're going to have to put your little tail in your leg and run back to America, right? And deal with your bankruptcy over there. Okay? So, I mean, we need people in politics. We need people to come in, but we don't need. It's not a wash your foot and come. I mean, come on, because the problem is, right? Why this is a problem is that right now we have a problem. We have two parties, and believe me or not, they are close, right? Because some of the constituencies were quite close. So having this third party to distract, it just distracts people, and people, because a lot of people like me, we want change, and some people, they don't care, you know, the same way some people don't care. They're like, I want change and I'll just vote anything. And some people will just vote and waste their votes. And I'm not saying that they're going to do anything, but they will waste their votes. And they will be voting for, thinking that this woman comes from America with good ideas. She doesn't have any idea. There's nothing. She has posted nothing. She posts very nice graphics. She posts very nice graphics, but she just copy and paste and put it there, and she cannot even discuss it. And then she will just be very condescending and act like people don't have understanding, and so on. So it's like, you want to be the ruler of people, you want to be the leader of people, and you don't want to teach people or show people what is right and what is wrong. You want to just, you know. So in all I find it kind of comical, but I find it serious, because politics is serious. Dominicans really need a way out, and we do not have time to waste with people that are just trying to get money to probably regain their foreclosed house. It's I mean, we need more than that. We deserve more than that. After all these years, we deserve more than that. So if you come in, come proper. If you come in, come proper, because the United Workers' Party has all their supporters, the Labour Party has all their supporters. They're not going to leave their party for something like that, right? I mean, people like me and other people that are looking for change and looking for something different, we are quite disappointed, and we are even upset. I am upset, because you wasted my time. I read all those articles about you going to start a party, and then nothing. There's nothing for me, right? It's just a waste of time, just a bunch of lies. Everything is a lie. Everything she says is a lie. This is just a bad idea, all right? So right now she's in Dominica, walking around talking about big promises and saying big things that she can do. Trust me, there's nothing there. Ayepala. Alright? Dominicans know what Ayepala means. Ayepala. Right? So I just wanted to talk about that, because I just find it a disrespect to Dominican politics. And that is why. That is my whole reason. That is the whole reason for me doing this, talking about this to the public, because I've talked about it already, because I cannot talk about it enough, because I'm like, that's just a disrespect to Dominican politics. How the hell do you come from over there and make all those lies up and come here and who are you trying to fool? Who are you going to fool? But Dominican politics has a flaw that will work against her, because for Dominican politics, you have to have money. You have to have cash. You must have cash for you to be successful in Dominican politics, because people want money. People want something. People want you to pay a phone bill. People want you to pay a light bill. People want to come to your office and ask for $10 or something to pay something. So if you don't have that, then you don't have a vote. That's a bad thing for our politics. But that's a characteristic of our politics that we have to face, right? And only a new mentality can get rid of it. But for now, the mentality is not going to change just like that, and it's not just going to happen so quickly. So with that, I mean, that's the end of my talking about her, and I don't think I'm going to talk about that party anymore, because it's just a waste of my time and a waste of my attention. And I mean, and the other thing is that people are calling in and asking about the party, and this woman tells the people when they were asked about the policies and so on, this woman says, go to my Facebook. So you come on the radio to talk about your party, and when people ask about your party's policies, right, you say, check my Facebook for information. So she can only put information there so you can read it. She cannot tell you because she doesn't have it in her mind. She doesn't know it. Oh, another one. Why am I remembering those things? They asked her what is she going to do about crime. She said she has a crime specialist in her party. That person will have to answer that question because she's not a one-man government, right? That's a colossal fail. Crime, you don't know what to do about crime? Okay, let me answer the question. Crime is rampant in Dominica right now, and I believe that there's a lot of lawlessness. Our laws are not being enforced because I just spoke about the laws not being enforced. Our laws are not being enforced, number one. And number two, our laws are not being enforced, one. And number two, because of how the laws are antiquated, the magistrates, the judges and magistrates are frustrated because their hands are always tied. They can never give punishment that they believe is just because their hands are tied, because the laws are old and they need to be updated so that the magistrates can punish crime effectively. And so with that problem, people keep getting away with a lot of crimes, and so crime is very rampant. So one of the things that I want to do as a as a new prime minister is to enforce the laws and to update the antiquated laws so that the justice can be served better and the judges and magistrates can do their jobs without feeling guilty and helpless, right? And that's it. I answered the question and that's it, right? But she has to get a crime specialist to answer that question. Really? And you're ready for politics. So I just had to do this. I just felt that I needed to do this because as a person that wants to spread knowledge and spread education about politics, I believe that this disrespect to Dominican politics needs to be completely eliminated, right? So I just hope that people do not get fooled by facial expressions and those things, and big plans, pies in the sky, because we like pies in the sky. We have been an international airport has been dangled in our face for years and we still fall for it. A new Rosa has been dangled in our face for years and we're still falling for it. You know, so many things are dangled. What sports stadium, a multipurpose sports stadium covered, has been dangled in our face for many years and we're still there following, waiting for it. So there are many things to be dangled in front of us, and if we are passive enough, we will let all this pass and we will not do anything about it, and then we'll say, oh well, that's how it is. And that's how Dominicans like to say, that's how it is. And we should stop saying that's how it is, because you can always make a difference. It's always up to you. You have the power because everything depends on you. Whatever you let happen, that's what will happen. We let our government do whatever they want of us. We let the government control the country. That's it. Whatever the government do, that's up to them. I mean, people do not stand for anything, man. Your parrots were taken away without your knowledge, and nothing, no kind of statement was made, and nothing. People just take that, sit down, lie down and say, yeah, that was for the best of the parrots. But what is the update on our parrots? Nobody's updating us about our parrots. How are they doing? Has she given birth yet? You know, nothing. So we just take things lying down, and that is wrong. But I do not want Dominicans to be fooled by this lying woman, and I do not want Dominicans to get fooled by whoever that may be a part of her group, trying to fool people into believing that she has any interest in Dominica. For 29 years you were living in the States, you never came to Dominica, and now after you've been bankrupt twice, you want to come to Dominica because Skerrit became a rich man in government. Now Skerrit is a millionaire, so you want to come and look for your millions. Come and look for your millions, Sapphire. Come and look for your millions, because that deposit that you're going to pay, you're going to lose it. Okay, you're going to lose that deposit completely, fair and square. That's the millions you're coming for, right? You and all your so-called party members, because I saw that you have a doctor on you. I saw a doctor on her roster, and can you believe? I went to his website. The man doesn't. The man has his doctor is in theology, right? As a pastor, you know, most pastors have that doctor in front of the name. They do that theology doctorate. He has a whole CV on his website, and there's no bachelor's on his website, but there's a graduate studies, right? Graduate studies, not a graduate degree, graduate studies. He's a doctor because he did the theology thing. You don't need any degrees to do that theology thing. Just like Dr. Erica Joseph in Dominica. Dr. Erica Joseph in Dominica. She did some free course online, some theology doctor thing, free course online, that free doctorate, like lifestyle, what life experiences doctorate thing, I think. And she have this doctor in front of her name, right? So he has this doctor in front of his name. I'm not saying the man is not capable of whatever it is that he's qualified in, but his doctor is not no doctorate. His doctor is might be just one of those Dr. Erica Joseph kind of doctor. Alright, if you don't know about Dr. Erica Joseph, then you don't know what I'm talking about, then stay out of the loop. But if you know Dr. Erica Joseph, who claims to have qualifications in children with learning disabilities, then you know what I'm talking about. If you think that she's a real doctor, joke's on you. Sorry. It's not really a joke, but people put doctors in front of the name for them to get respect that they don't deserve. And we can see that. Because number one, while we're talking about doctors in front of your name, the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, I will not call him Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit because he's not a doctor, right? According to the educational ethics, someone with an honorary degree is not called doctor unless they actually have an earned doctorate. So if you have an honorary degree but you don't have an actual earned doctorate, you cannot be called doctor. So trying to make people call you doctor, or people calling you doctor, is wrong, and it is fake and false, and it should not be done. And I don't support it. I'm not calling him Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit. I will call him Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, but the doctor will not come through because he's no doctor, right? Or if I have to call him doctor, I could call him the lovely doctor because he's a doctor from the lovely university, and the only place, according to the ethics of the education ethics, the only place that will call you doctor, that you are considered doctor, is in the university that you got the honorary degree from. So that's why I call him the lovely doctor, because he's a lovely doctor. He's not an actual doctor to be called Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit. So sorry, Prime Minister, but that is my views, and I'm sticking to it, and that's my belief, and that's what I know. These are the facts, and there's no Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit. There's Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Fair enough? Okay, so I think I've talked too much today. Sometimes it gets a little difficult from the beginning, and then I just have to talk and talk. You know, I sometimes have a lot of la power, and so don't mind me. So that's it for tonight. I think I've outdone myself. I've spoken about so many things, and I prepared some notes and I didn't even use them, but I think I touched everything that I wanted to mention. So with that, I would like everyone to keep tuned to Outside the Box. I know I have a problem with keeping up the time. I have a problem every time I try to do a scheduled time, something goes wrong, and bam, my plans get messed up. So the plan is Thursdays and Saturdays. Come what may, Thursdays and Saturdays. I probably cannot give a time, but it's Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursdays and Saturdays, just look out for Outside the Box. We'll be talking about anything and anything. As you can see, I do not care about I do not care what I speak about. I do not care about anybody's opinion about me. I do not care about what people think. I have nothing to lose in expressing my opinions directly and truthfully, and I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of any power or any authority. Obviously, I'm not available for victimization, so I'm able to say whatever I need to say. And as I said, I want to be the mouthpiece of the people. I want to talk about things that people don't usually talk about. I want to talk about the things that matter. I want to talk about the things that we need to be paying attention to, and we need to pay attention to the people that we put in office, and we cannot let them into the gate unless they meet some standards. And if you don't meet standards, you cannot come in. I would prefer to vote for Papi because Papi has been there all these years. I would prefer to vote for Papi than to vote for any candidate on the PPOD, the People's Party of Dominica, right? Okay then, that's enough for PPOD. And the next time we'll be talking about something else. You see, today we talked about PPOD and we still talked about doctorates, and we talked about so many things. So long, good night, ciao, we're done for the night. Bye.